Okay. Thanks everybody for coming and listening to my speech. I would just like to start talking about how crazy gas prices are today. Gas is about $1.87 or $1.76, I believe, per liter, which is insane. And diesel is worse right now, probably around $1.90. That's ridiculous. But with that being said, let's fast forward 40 years from now. Some of us are parents, some of us will be parents, but the main focus is looking at the future generations and their living conditions. The living conditions our future generations will have is more drought, more heat, more floods, less yielding crops, more insects, dirty air quality. Now, as citizens of Earth, we got to recognize how we can create this change. And some of you might be understanding and kind of like leaning towards what I'm talking about. And it's renewable resources versus non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources do not last forever, of course, hence the name. And it's damaging our world, and that's inexcusable. Renewable resources are the future, and we need change now. Now, a big part of this change is coming from money, because our societies across the world, it all derives from money. People, it's just the way the world works. Now, these corporations, the big corporations, or us as individuals and the government, need to recognize the importance of renewable resources. Because renewable resources doesn't damage the world we live in, and we can still have sustainable power. And eventually, we can, if we build the infrastructure, we can build enough infrastructure for these renewable resources to power the world. So, with that being said, we need these big companies to build the infrastructure, and ultimately, that will create jobs for the future. And our economy will grow essentially the same way it did when the Industrial Revolution happened. The Industrial Revolution was great. Of course, it was great. For humanity, it was amazing. It gave us cars, boats, trains, heating in our homes, so many things that we can use. But we gotta go lean towards renewable resources such as hydro, solar, wind turbines, geothermal, and biomass. Because this is the future and we need to look out for the future of our world. Now, because of the rapid increase in population, which results in urbanization, which ultimately means more power and energy needed. And when we have more people, there's going to be more energy that's needed. So if we can result and move towards renewable resources, our societies can try and mitigate the problems from what has happened to our world because of these non-renewable resources such as coal, oil, and gas. Now, coming from Medicine Hat, that's huge today where we live, and of course it's been really important, but we gotta push towards change. Now, there's a process called hybridization. Now, hybridization essentially is using solar or wind and combining them so we can always have a constant surplus of energy. When we do that, say the solar panel's not getting enough sun, but the wind turbine still spins, then we have that energy. But or vice versa. As long as there's constant, and in hybridization, you can even throw in another renewable resource to always make sure it's self-fulfilling and its energy is being generated. And households can be by themselves, creating independence, which is overall a great thing. I just want, as a society, for us to work together and look at the common goal for our future. Because the way we're acting now is going to destroy our world as we know it. Antarctica will cease to exist, or eventually will just be a bunch of water, will flood the world with crazy heat and unbearable living circumstances. Now, I've lived in a world where we can have these great things, and I want the future generations to be able to recognize and live in those same ways. But the only way to do that is by using renewable resources, because non-renewable resources is destroying our world. I'm not saying we can't use non-renewable resources. I'm saying we use them sparingly. We create change by using these renewable resources. So at the beginning, yeah, we're going to use non-renewable resources, but we're going to push forwards and to use those renewable resources in the future. And eventually, we'll have enough energy, if we dive in now and take action now as citizens of Earth, to make a push, to make change, and overall save the world, because right now it's in a dangerous situation. And if we all take action and push towards using renewable resources, we can change the world for the better, and our future generations will forever be thankful. Thank you.